Hey, good morning. This is Kathy and Conrad DeMattias. We are coming to you from Wilmington, Delaware. This morning, I was talking to a friend of mine, and this friend of mine is Monique Outerbridge. Monique Outerbridge is Velvet Cakes by Gwen, who is came into the storyline, came into this sequel. But one of the strange things had happened. And when I was writing a chapter that was the meet and greet, where everybody kind of like got together and meet everybody, it was somehow her cakes that were described in the storyline. And it wasn't until I saw her cakes at an event that I realized that I was like, holy crap, I wrote about her cakes. This is her. So we are at the stage now where we're starting our filming. Filming has started. Our filming is getting ready to commence, put it that way. When you go to pitch a movie, to pitch something to a movie house, and in our particular case, we went through Amazon, which pretty much steers us to Netflix.
Or Amazon, because they do have a movie channel.
Yes. So those are those two places, but the HBO was also an option as well for us. So we've got several different places to put a pilot into. So as of right now, we're focusing on our first chapter that's inside the book. And we've realized that there are some locations here in Delaware that would mimic the Lake Keyser. Now, the only reason it's going to mimic it is because I set the house where it was away from the mountains. So all you were seeing was the lake and the trees. So with that being said, it really allows me to use, we have a lake in Laurel that we can use, and then we also have a lake in Kent County that there's cabins that overlook, and we would be able to put that one scene there so that we can send our pilot off. But my friend Monique, who was talking to me today, who is Velvet Cakes by Gwen, who is featured inside the storyline, said there's a reason for you to be back here in Delaware, because this is where my inspiration came from. When I wrote this book, I started off with a little children's book that I did. And this little children's book was The King and Queen of Love. And they were in a land of diamonds. Well, history, teachers, school, students, what is Delaware known as?
The Diamond State.
The Diamond State. So, what are characters, the King and Queen of Love, Conrad and Kathy DeMattias? We're writing their little children's book for all the little children that were in our life. We came up with a little storyline. So I'm going to read this little book to you right now, because this is just our children's story. One day this is going to be at Disney, but I don't know how and I don't know when. But we'll just start with it right here. The King and Queen of Love. Once upon a time, in a land rich with diamonds, where would that be?
Delaware.
Lived a young maiden named
Fubella, or I don't remember what her
Named
name.
Fubella.
Okay, that was right.
Her castle, made of brick and mortar, set high upon a hill, surrounded by brick walls. The maiden longed to find her prince, her one true love. In the dark of the night, an angel would appear to her and whisper in her ear the description of her one true love. She handed the list to the angels and asked for her prince to find her. Dear angels, my true love wish list. He must be compassionate, friendly, loyal, and kind. He must be an independent thinker. He must be happy. He must be a strong thinker. He must be brave, pride, confident, and secure. She searched far and wide with 2 clues she had. First clue is he looked like an owl. The second clue, he would be furry like a bear. The maiden was confused. Was her true love a bear with glasses? Yes, he is a bear that wears glasses. He just has contacts in right now. One day, the maiden was gathering diamonds when all of a sudden, where was she at again?
Delaware.
And what was the all of a sudden?
I don't know. What was it?
His crystal blue eyes were deep as the ocean. She met him up at the Kmart potion. I met him at Kmart, at the Pike Creek Kmart, which is now closed. But I met him at the jewelry counter where we sold perfume and accessories and makeup and things like that. And that was where
We actually met outside.
We met out in the parking lot, but
due to a car fire.
due to a car day. One day, the prince took the maiden's hand. Take my hand. And professed his undying love. This promise enraged the wicked witch. She cast an evil spell by lighting a candle and making a brew. One day, the wicked witch hatched a plan: destroy the maiden once and for all. Shut her down. I promise to destroy you. A birdie whispered in the maid's ear of the plot of destruction. They toiled away each and every day. They lavished in plays. They built potions for play. They worked hard and cared for the sick people along the way. One day, a great spirit turned her into an angel. As time went on, the evil witch kept throwing arrows at the couple. To no avail, the arrows fell to the ground. Their love was brighter than the sun, deeper than the galaxy, and as wide as the seas. One night, under the shadows of the moon, the phoenix woke from her slumber, and she put her movie together.
The end.
Is only the beginning. So that, my friends, is this little children's book that has been an inspiration for us as we've been going through this. But when Monique said I came back to Delaware for my inspiration, it's because there were so many good intentions that I put in here for so many people that I love dearly here in the state of Delaware. Mm-hmm. And, when Jesus was on the cross and he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they do." When God tapped me to do this project, he didn't tap you. Mm-mm. He didn't tap my mother. He didn't tap any of my sisters. He didn't tap
your kids.
My kids. Yeah, he didn't tap my kids. He really didn't tap anybody that was my close knit. And I trust that there was reasons for that. And that's because when God taps you, he's tapping you. He ain't tapping your whole crew. Right. He's tapping you because he's getting ready to move you and to shift you into something new. And he knows you can't do it, you're not going to be able to talk all of them into do it, because realistically, none of them think like you. So there's no doubt that he probably went through all of them. And it was not I, said God, or not I to God, but I said yes to God. And the bottom line is God's going to go to you with something. And if you don't do it, if he's giving you these ideas and you don't get off your butt and do it, eventually they're like, you know what? They ain't listening. Let's move on. Let's give it to somebody else. And that's the story of how Post cereal got Kellogg's. Kellogg's would not put that cereal out. So,
well, the one brother
wanted to.
The younger brother Will did, and he's the one that really is Kellogg's cereal.
He's the one that really is Kellogg's cereal, right? But he was trying to get, and his brother wasn't believing him. His brother was holding it all back. So what had to happen? God sent Mr. Post, CW Post, and Post took it and ran with it and built an empire with it. And that's the way the story goes. So the bottom line is if you don't work the gift that God gave you to work, he's going to give it to somebody else, because he didn't give that gift for it to fall on the floor. He didn't give that gift for you to not do anything with it. He didn't put this stuff in. Like, you guys got to understand, these aren't my plans. These are God's plans. These are God's plans, and he's the one that calls the shots. And when he tells me, march, Kathy, this is what you're doing, it's what I got to do, because this is who I take my marching orders from. I don't take them from him. I don't take them from anybody else but God. God is where I get my marching orders from. And God will call the people to me that are a part of this process. But this is what God has laid on us today. We have about 50 more books on us, I'd say, in the back of the car in the box. I think we got about 50 more books. Inside this book, we have a scene, which is our meet and greet. And in that meet and greet, Charlotte had seen a lot of investors. There was banking investors. There were chefs in there, because she remembered seeing the chefs. Right. We literally now have real chef Bones from Tender Bones, Clinton Harris from Tender Bones Rib Shack. We have one of our chefs. The other chef that we have is Monique Outerbridge. So we are getting our chefs. Like, our chefs are coming in. So that chapter that was created, the players are all coming in. And the bottom line is, you know, there has been a lot of issues that we know with Hollywood. There has been a tremendous amount of issues. Hollywood has been going through a lot of problems, a lot of changes, and Ricky Garvis probably said it the best. Like, he kind of like, he did really, really good. He did really good the other week. And I knew even though, like, I deep down had like this secret to do something like this. It started first with the movie Somewhere in Time. I wanted to be Elise McKenna. Like, oh my God, Jane Seymour is just gorgeous. Oh, love her, love her, love her. And so it stands to reason that this was something that was buried deep inside of me. And the other day I recalled when I had done a play in the backyard as a kid, and I gathered all my neighborhood, kids together, and we all pulled off a play. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what we wrote about. I don't remember any of that. I just remember us kids doing something in the backyard. And I was like, this was something that was buried inside of me. And it's something that has come out. And the other week, my friend Marcus Bodington, a screenwriter, releases this thing where he was like, Kathy, don't you think maybe it's time that you start producing this and putting this together? And it's like, oh God, he said what I already know. Damn it. They're seeing it. They're like, damn it. Because I kept trying to go, no, like I need somebody else. I'm not smart enough to do this. But you know something? I am smart enough to do this. And this whole year, these whole last 2 years, I've been assembling a lot of key players. And so there's some changes that are going to be happening. The Secret Life is going to be pulled from Amazon really soon. We're going to be pulling this. We're pulling this because we are redirecting it. And we are going to start bringing things out one chapter at a time. And as we do that, there's, you're going to be able to feel the other characters getting involved. And as of right now, we are assembling. We have found our the person who is going to be doing one of our leads, Clinton Tuckerman, and he's going to be doing that long enough for us to be able to put the pilot together. The pilot is what is so very, very important when it comes to getting your movie, your project onto Netflix, HBO. Any one of those things is the pilot. That's really, really important. But independence is where it has been at. And this whole wave that we've been going through, even in our country, is a wave of independence, a wave of picking up your own bootstraps. There is not an immigrant that has not come to this country that had a silver spoon put in their mouth. They did not walk in this country. Most immigrants that have walked in this country with less than $5 in their pocket. And they have built empires. So, and some of them had no more of an education than probably 5th grade, yet they made it. It has nothing to do with anything other than perseverance, grit, tenacity, and that voice in your head that says, I have a plan for you, but are you listening? And that's the big thing. So today at noon, we are going to be at the Panera Bread.
Kirkwood Highway.
On Kirkwood Highway. And in all reality, as you read this, there's going to be characters that you're going to resonate with. There was characters that were created for certain people. Janesha was created for Shantae Gibson. That character is hers. It was created for her to play. There are cameos in here. Eddie Bell has got a cameo in this. These are things these characters all come in down the road once we have gotten our funding to come in, but we have been attracting our investors. And we have been doing things different. You see, in Hollywood, a lot of you guys don't realize this, and who would know? We didn't know. But in Hollywood, when Pepsi or Coke endorses their product inside of a movie, they pay about $100,000 for that. I want you to think about that with your business right now. Which one of your businesses that you have, whether you are the jewelry store down the street, whether you are a bed and breakfast, whether you're a hotel chain, a baker, a restaurant, do you have $100,000 to have your product invested inside of a movie? No, you don't. The only ones who have that kind of money are people like McDonald's, Coke, Burger King, big businesses. And that's why you see them inside of movies, because they're big. But this is the thing about Delaware. We're small. We're small, but we're mighty. We are mighty here. We might be a small state. We're not the smallest. Rhode Island is. But we're coming for Rhode Island too. Because we're all about the little things. It's the little things. And what we're trying to say here is that for all of you that have ever wanted to step inside of a movie script, to step inside to something different, this is your opportunity. And we have priced it so that you can get in. But we understand that some people might not have any extra money right now to invest, might not have that money to be able to do that. And it's a shame, because we had a bed and breakfast yesterday that would have been perfect. We even offered to them to barter, and they shot it down and said, no, I have to giggle with that. Because I don't know if people realize this, but I can get an Airbnb for $50 a night, which basically means for $250, I could film a movie inside of a house. And I could even do better than that, because we know that there are houses here in Delaware that have been on the market for years and years and years and years, can't sell for whatever reason, and they need something different. And I've got an idea for that. So the bottom line is, if you turn down this opportunity, don't come crying to me later. And this is what happens in the real world. In the real world, people have opportunities all the time extended out to them. And for whatever reason, they close their ears, they close their eyes, and they say, nope, I don't want anything to do with this. And they block their blessing. There is a reason that there is a star on this book. And there is a reason why people who have been coming in are people who talk to God. They're people who get their messages. And these are the people who have been coming in. So these are the people who I am looking for. I am looking for my spiritual people. I am looking for my people who have that relationship with God. This is a God project. This is a God project. And the bottom line is as a small business, you're really never going to get an opportunity to be able to get your brand inside of a movie. But this was the idea that God gave to me. The idea is you come in as an investor. And that is the idea. The idea is that this is something that you want. So you're coming in and working and doing what we need to do. You're investing your money, you're investing your time, you're investing your energy. But this is how we're getting in, because this is the spirit of an entrepreneur. Like, this is the spirit of entrepreneurship. And we know with independent movie filming that things have been changing, and that Hollywood is not the only game in town. And the bottom line is if Tyler Perry can open up a studio down in South Carolina, is that where he's at?
I'm not sure.
I think he's down south somewhere. I'm not sure where he's at. If Tyler Perry can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, if these people, I was like, I can do it. I realized that the only thing that stops me is my own disbelief in what I can or can achieve. And so I know I'm at this stage now. I can't play every role, but I can attract the person who's going to. I can hire a film crew. We hire film crews to do our commercials, but we're doing everything instead of a movie. A movie would never give all of these businesses justice. It would never be able to do that. The only way to give all of this and all these investors representation for what they're doing is to put things down as a chapter. So we get 40 minutes of time in these series. We get 40 minutes. So you have ending credits that have to be done, and then you have the beginning that has to be done. The beginning is a chapter, is our first chapter, or basically the backlog story to Charlotte. And I found my little Charlotte last year at the Staples, and I was smart enough that I took her phone number down, and I have that. So I'm going to be reaching out to her because her scene is going to have to be filmed. And because of the beauty of Airbnb, we're probably going to be able to film our scene for $50 and use somebody's kitchen and be able to film it and be able to do our scenes. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what using your noodle is. The bottom line is anything can get done. Anything get done. So if you've tried to do something in the way that you needed to do and you just kept getting opposition, change your direction. And that is what we've done. So again, if you feel that you'd like to take a shot, but for some reason you don't know what your part could be, then I urge you to pick up this copy and start reading it, because there are literally so many characters in here. And even if you are just a little shy and you don't want to see yourself like behind or running scenes, we have a chapter where the meet and greet is, and that is a black tie affair. That's a party that you're going to be filmed in. So you could be in a background scene. You might wind up having just a little conversation and the camera comes moving past you, but nothing really major, but enough that you're in it. And this is where we're going to be selling tickets to. This is all self-funded. This is how this is happening. This is how this has to be done. This is the way. And we've understood this. So a lot of our funding right now has been coming from people who have purchased chapters, and I'm writing them in. So, this whole thing has been amazing. This whole thing has been amazing. But the bottom line is you have an opportunity to be a part of history, and you have an opportunity to take your business, what it is that you're doing in your business, and roll it inside of ours, because all we're doing is writing your chapter. That's all that we're doing, is writing you in. Yet I need to be paid to write you in, because it takes me literally anywhere from 1 to 7 days, depending upon how big you are inside of this. And it takes money to do all of this. And that's why you're investing in it. But it also means you own a part of the project. It means you are investing in the storyline. You are going to be a part of the dividends. I'm telling you what, Clinton Harris is a freaking smart man. Mm-hmm. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And I'm so unbelievably blessed to have his support and what is happening, because he knows what he read my book. Monique Outerbridge has invested. She knows what's coming into here. And this is the shift. This is fantasy meets reality, people. This is what this is. So, on that note, we're going to see you today at Panera
Bread on Kirkwood Highway.
Panera Bread on Kirkwood Highway. We're going to be there by noon. We've got copies of our book on hand.
Yep.
We will be there to sign them. The books are $20 a piece. So for $20, you can go through this book and see where are you inside of it? What part can you play? And if you find your part and you know what you want to be in, come on in, let's have a talk, and let's write you in. Well, I'll talk to you later. This is Kathy and Conrad DeMatteis. Bye.